it's a more satisfying sport. Is the softball because you get to really feel it when it goes TWA thwack, and it really like so we did that for like 5 summers, and by the fifth summer, I was like pro. Every time I went up, it was a home run. First pitch, I smack it so far. I was like nailing them, like way, way, way. Like no one could get them. They're going too far. Yeah, yeah. Me and one of my campers, Geoff, we both got attacked by a swarm of cow killer bees out at the softball diamond. I had the cabin of the 15-year-old boys, and yeah, there's like 10 of them, the LITs, the leaders in training, and I was standing on this post, and my whole cabin, my cabin was there, and we just played softball. I think all the LITs, yeah, the girls too were there, and I stood on the post, and I guess there was a bee's nest in this high up post I was standing on, and Jeff, the guy closest to the post, oh man, I can tell you this. There's like a bunch of different types of bees, wasps, hornets, but nothing. I've read this randomly. There's no sting more painful than the cow killer bee, and those were cow killer bees. They look different than normal bees, and I recognized them immediately because I have a really good photogenic memory, and it was a swarm of cow killer bees that chased us. We got chased across the softball field, and me thinking, I see uh, a big giant caterpillar, uh, like an excavator, and I run straight for At this point, Jeff is like running behind me. I don't even care. I'm just trying to get away from the bees, and I run into the caterpillar thing, and I get in. I close the glass door, and I'm like, it's all quiet. There's no more bees, and then all of a sudden, Geoff, Jeff, my camper, he was a guitar player. He runs in, and there's a giant, big bunch of swarming all over us. We're inside the caterpillar, and I like burst out the back of the caterpillar. The back flapped open out of nowhere. Like the back flaps open, I flop out, and like on the caterpillar, getting attacked. I get down, and but by this point, Ben Liston was there with the big giant Suburban, the 15, the big one, and he comes in. And I'm like, I remember this. I was like waving like this. I was like, help! As he was driving up, and as soon as I did that, I went like that, boom! I got stung right in the heart. It was like, oh god! It was so bad. It was like, because you get stung a bunch, but sometimes there's like one sting that really hurts. I, I got attacked. I got attacked by a bunch of wasps, and yeah, I attacked by mud wasps one time in yeah, back in my old town. Me and my friends were we get together because our old town there's like forest everywhere on the outskirts, and we go in the woods and have fires. So, and we were gonna have a fire that night, so I had a bag and there was beer and hot dogs and stuff like that. And I was gonna go like I don't know what I was gonna do, like collect wood or something, but it was like noon, and I was there with my girlfriend at the time, Valerie, and I I I took my bag and I'm like I'm just gonna throw it in this culvert in the ditch and I'll get it later. Yeah, my whole night was ruined by this. I don't think we even had a fire or anything. I don't know. Maybe we did. We probably did. But I'm gonna tell you this example, and then I'm gonna tell you a funny story from Camp Tamarack, and that's it. So, of course, after I threw my heavy backpack, right? I forgot my weed. I need my weed. so, so I'm like, oh, I'll just go get my weed. But already I could feel like something hostile in the air. I should have like paid more attention. I went down, got the weed, and as I leave the bag there. As I'm walking up the embankment, I slip in a bit of mud. Slip, and my knee goes boom down. Of all the fucking places I could have fell, my knee had fallen directly, and I saw this afterwards where I fell. It fell right on the opening of a mud wasp. Yeah, the yellow jackets, the fuckers, the ones that bother us every summer. You know those ones. I was climbing up, and things started bouncing off my head, and I started getting stung, and it hurt. So I started. I just ran, and I flipped out, and I started rolling on the grass. I tore my clothes off. They were all like attached to my clothes. I tore my clothes off and took off down the street running. And they were still attacking me. I was in my boxers, and I remember as I as I was running, I remember they were all like stinging me. I got stung like I don't know, like 12 times or more. And like each time with bee stings, this is the thing. It doesn't get better. Like each time hurts even worse than the other. And I'll always remember running down this empty street and there was no one there. And there was no one on the street. And My girlfriend Val was just watching the whole thing. She thought I had a mental breakdown, is what she said. She didn't understand what was going on. And I'm running, and there's only one person. There's a male guy. He used to go to my school, like high school or something. But yeah, no, he's older, and I'm running, and I always remember this. There was one hornet that came, and it freaking came and just stung me right in the ass, like right through my boxers. Stung me right in the ass. And out of all the stings I got, that was the worst for some reason. And I'm like, I just like scream so loud. I'm like, oh my God. And I run, and I'm running, and I'm running, and I see, it's the male guy. He's like the only one on this giant, really long street, like very long street, right edged up on the fields and the woods. And yeah. I I, I get closer to the male guy. The male guy, he gets in his car. I run up, and he locks the door. And I'm screaming, and I think he also thought I'd gone crazy because I was running at him like in my boxers. And he's just swearing at me. Like, he's like, ah, blah, blah, blah. What he was saying was so funny. It was like, just like, mismatched. He was like talking about some whole different other thing or something, but he was like swearing a bit, but he wasn't swearing at me. It was like he was yelling, like having a conversation with himself or something. And I eventually took shelter in a nice lady's veranda. She said, "Come on in if the bees are bothering you, boy." She's like, "Come on in." Yeah, so it was an accomplishment to have been able to run that program so well. I I had three other staff, two Aussies, and a Jewish guy, and and it was like perfect. Like we did everything perfectly. I taught them so well. I taught them the pattern properly, and the procedures and stuff, the situations, and I made sure that I was on top of that whole summer. There was even one time where we got them all finished, and it was like a young cabin, and they all finished early. And one guy, he's like, oh, let's just take them again. And it was like I could sense the energy like getting out of control. And my buddy Oliver, young Jewish guy, best friend, was Oliver. He was like 18, and he was chill. He was cool as hell. He just turns the boat off. He's like, Horace. He's like, done. He's like, we're done. And the other guy, he's like, no. He's like, let's go again. Blah blah blah. Whoa. And I'm just like, nope. I'm like, nope. And then I talked to them after. I'm like, nope, we're doing the right thing. No, sorry, I talked to them right then and there. I said, nope, because once we start losing respect for what we're doing, that's when accidents happen. I made it very clear. That's when accidents happen. And we had an entire summer with zero accidents, which is like pretty good, pretty darn good. Usually there's a few. No injuries kind of thing. No injuries because I was on top of it. Had a great team. I made sure they were on top of it. So all of us worked very hard. It was tiring, incredibly stressful driving boats all day on a crowded lake too. There were sailboats out there. Sometimes you had to go around the sailing area, go around the sailboat, and there was a wakeboard program on the other side, way over on the other side of the lake. There was wakeboarding. But the thing was, my staff would not properly drive when I skied. They wouldn't drive the speed that I liked, and yeah, you know, there was a few problems there in the staff, and I sorted them out like right away. I like fucking they got it bad if they were like disrespecting me or like anything. They got it badly, but still they wouldn't drive fast enough, and it's hard because I'd always tell them like go faster, go faster. They wouldn't drive fast enough. Oliver, the young guy, he drove fast enough, almost fast enough one day, and I had a good ski. And so yeah, I was using a nice beveled Connolly, $800, beautiful red and black ski. I got from Halliburton. Play it again, or Halliburton Lacrosse Sports, and they had like the niftiest stuff, all of the summer stuff, and I would go in there and blow like $500 on crap sometimes because I liked all the board shorts and stuff, like the nice like tank tops and stuff like that. Like get some $200 Oakleys or something and lose them on the highway, sticking your head out the window. Yeah, so I had this punk. Punk was giving me a hard time, and I set him straight. But still, he would talk behind my back and stuff. And I could hear him sometimes talking to other staff, and he would say, he's like, you know what? He's like, yeah, I think I might actually be the better skier, better than Horace, than Charlie. And I heard him say that. I'm like, oh, well, he was pretty damn good. Like, he had a really nice form. He had nice form. Nice rhythm. Good pendulum. But I certainly set him straight, too. On the last day of camp, my buddy, the wakeboard guy, he brought me out. And I just told him straight up what I wanted. I said, go fast. Go very fast. And do hairpin turns, and then come back on the same track. You'll see it come back on the bubbles. So go right back. Find your track and hit the bubbles and go straight up. And he freaking gave me the best ski of my life that day. Fucking like fast, like 44 miles per hour. 45 miles per hour ski. That's like barefoot speed. And that at that speed, like you can rip. And your ski, it just like sticks to the water. You're going so fast. Like your ski is just like and you're like reach out, you're like this when you ski, and your whole body is like this, like over the water. Like that. Oh, pull it in and then lean back. And you just fling yourself across, and your speed doubles when you do that. So 44, 45 miles per hour. Yeah, you're flying like 90, upwards 90, and up miles per hour on the water, like just. it was such a good ski. 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 I did like four laps of the lake, 8 passes, and I fucking nailed it. I even had to let go at one point just to catch my breath. And then I fucking nailed it. And all my friends and all these other staff were there because this is the last day. And the kids had gone home, and all these other staff, including a bunch of girl staff, they were there. And when I came in, I remember it was like eerie, like quiet, like no one was talking, because they'd seen what I just did, and they were like, "What?" They were like, "What the hell?" Yeah. And then yeah, and Will was there too, and Will was like, he was like, I I felt that he was so quiet. He's like, he's like so quiet. Yeah, but I just wanted to say like yeah, sure, I had fun, but that was like a communist group. Like these communist groups, they just pop up, and yeah, and they all like they all become like snitches and stuff, and like just because they want to like be accepted by the group. So it's like that's what you see everywhere, and I do mean everywhere. Like you see it everywhere. But yeah, people thought I was weird. I was the one who thought they were weird. On the last night, we were all having like a bonfire, and everyone was like having drinks and stuff, and I was like, "Party!" And I like grabbed like this big giant board surf, and I come near the fire with the board surf, and I'm just like, "Party!" It's like a huge board. I'm just like, yeah. It was so heavy too, those board surfs for the windsurfs. And everyone goes like this. They jump on me. They're like, "Oh no, Horace, no." They're like, "No." They're like, "Don't do that." They're like, "No." And they made it out to like I was gonna throw it in the fire or something. Like, and of course, like they were like just off their little like hinges the next day just to like tattle on me for something so stupid like that. Like they went and like pro- I know like they were like telling everyone they're like that. Everyone's a gossip, and they're telling like like the boss or whatever the bosses. Yeah, there's a few. They're all fucked, and they're all like telling them and like trying to like preen themselves and be like, "Am I a good little boy?" Like, my doggy treats. Everyone's after doggy treats. They want doggy treats because they want to be accepted by the group, and they don't have enough moxie in themselves to be their own person.